Hey there, Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. I am so happy to be back. COVID-19 has been kicking my butt around. And I do want to take this moment to thank everyone who has been sending me healing vibes. It has been very helpful. I will tell you that I will be coughing, so just bear with me. So today we're going to talk about the sun season of Taurus. The sun is moving into Taurus at 10:45 a.m. on April 19th, and it'll be there until May 19th. I'm going to start with the channel. Well, I'm going to give you a quick overview because there's so much planetary action happening this month, and then I will give you the channel message that I have for you, and then we'll get into your 9-card spread. So there's so much happening, so much. Right now we have Venus is in Gemini, but she's entering her shadow period, and she's going to go into retrograde from May 12th to June 25th. And so I will just tell you quickly that when Venus is in retrograde, it is not a good time to start a new relationship. Exes come back. If you do start a new relationship, it'll probably fizzle out, be hot and heavy, and then fizzle out. So just something to keep in mind. Also, Venus rules money, and so you'll kind of want to, like I have to tell you this right now, but in general, it's a good advice not to make risky investments. I don't think anybody's making risky investments at this point in time anyway. So, and then we have Mars is currently in Aries, and then it's going to move into Pisces on May 12th when Venus starts going retrograde. So Aries in Pisces gets really slugged down and slowed down and can't really manage things. And so it becomes a much more muted energy. So another reason not to get involved in a new relationship at that time. I do think though that the summer when probably in July, and there's a lot of reasons, and I think I'll do a video on that later, actually just about that, why I think things will pick up and go faster then. We do have the North Node moving into Gemini. So those of you that were born with the North Node in Gemini, you are about to notice this. If you are Gemini strong and if you like your rising or your moon or your sun sign, because if you're watching this and this is for one of the other things, the Gemini people are really going to notice, and Sagittarius people are going to notice the eclipses really mattering in their life the way the Cancer Capricorn people have for the past 18 months. We have a new moon happening on April 22nd, and the full moon is happening on May 7th. And so those both have some really interesting energies. Of course, when I do the new moon and the full moon videos, I'll cover those more. And let's see here. Mercury is picking up speed and moving very quickly. It's going from Aries to Taurus to Gemini all during this 28-day period. So really, really fast. Getting ready to go retrograde in June. So that's when things will be slowing down. So communication right now will be picking up. You'll be getting a lot more information. So right up until like May 12th when things like really start getting crazy. Although at that time, Mercury will be in its home sign. So could really work out for you. And then the planets are lining up to go retrograde, which is actually kind of a good thing in a way because we have had so many changes and so many transformations happening. And Pluto is the first one on April 25th. From April 25th to October 4th will be retrograde, and this will be a chance to catch our breath, to go, okay, all these things have happened, all these transformations and all these changes, and it'll be a chance to stop and look at it and to go over some of that stuff, especially once we get into July. Their energy will be there to really start restructuring and reformatting your life. So April 30th is a good day. Write that and circle it up because there's some super creative energy, and especially being Aries, that's a great day for you to really have some out-of-the-box thinking, just for the way that the planets are lined up for that day. May 3rd is kind of like really foggy, hard to think, so circle that one in red too. And if you can wait to do any major communication with anybody, I would wait until the 4th when the sun is conjunct with Mercury. That'll be a much better day for communication. And then it starts. All the retrogrades start happening. So the North Node is going to move on May 5th into Gemini. That's a retrograde moment. We've got Saturn going retrograde on the 11th. We've got Venus going retrograde on the 12th. We've got Jupiter going retrograde on the 14th. And then by the time we get into the summer, we've got a couple more planets going retrograde. So everybody's like lining up to start going backwards, to start slowing things down, to give us an opportunity to kind of look at things and assess where we are, because it has been a shakeup, right? It's been a shakeup. Okay, so the channel message that I had for you was the sun was rising, and there had clearly been a storm, because the sky was super dark. It was dark. It was damp. It was the morning after a major storm, but the streaks of light were yellow, orange, pink, and purple, streaking through the sky. And so it was really, really beautiful. But what I saw was this tree that was standing in silhouette against this, and I was told to go look up a card for you in this one deck I have on trees. And so there was the pippa tree, which is about staying in the moment, and the horse chestnut tree, which was it's about wisdom and understanding. So the guidance for you is the sun it's a dawn of a new day. There's a new opportunity here, right? But we all need to reassess and gather our breath. And so stay as much as you can in the moment, and try to absorb in and allow the wisdom and the understanding to come through, and hopefully it'll start to feel more comfortable, and you can start getting through this. Okay, so here's the 9-card spread, your overall energy. I went with a lot of earthy cards because it's Taurus. Taurus is the Empress. It's the energy of planting seeds, of nurturing and growing and caring for ourselves, and caring for relationships, and caring for financial. And your overall energy here is you have Buffalo Spirit, which says the abundant universe will provide. So nice way to start out. The abundant universe will provide. In the center here, the key to the situation. So we have the Moth Spirit, which is surrender now. And so again, it's that being in the moment. It's staying where you are. It's allowing the wisdom and the understanding of all the shakeups and changes that have come through to be absorbed and be downloaded and worked through, and allow yourself to bring in the wisdom. So in the recent past, you have the Scarab Beetle, which is magic works through you. And so your thoughts have been about where you've been going and what you've been doing, and how you can make things happen, right? And then all of a sudden, brick wall, we all had to hit that hard stop. And so right now, in order to allow the transformation to come in, we have the Dove Spirit. And the Dove Spirit is about being at peace, right? It's the being the here, being the now, allowing yourself to remember that you have the power to co-create. You can create things, but there's this need for peace and calm within in order to get there. And then you have the Chameleon Spirit for your future, for your thoughts in the area of thoughts. If you haven't been here before, this is the key. This is past, present, future, thoughts, feelings, actions. And so to act as if. So plan for the future. Act as if. Co-create. What do you want, right? We have this here. The abundant universe will provide. And so acting as if you know that what you're trying to create, you can create, because you can. What you think about, you bring about. You do co-create with spirit. And so acting as though, being confident, striding forward, moving in the direction. This is bull right here, right? That's a sign of Taurus, right? It is being focused on what you want and moving in that direction, and acting as if you know for a fact that you will obtain it. Because if you believe that, and if you work that way, that is the way it's going to happen. There has been some anxiety in the recent past about your ability to create, because this is open to the infinite possibilities, which means you've been a little worried, like, wait, because of course everybody is right now. I mean, things were clicking along, and then boom, right? And so this big hard stop that the whole world took was because so what it reminds me of is when you're driving down the road and you want to go in reverse. Well, you need to stop. You need to come to a complete stop before you go into reverse, because otherwise you will drop the transmission. And so I feel like people were chugging along, and the earth was chugging along, and it wants to shift directions, but it had to come to a complete stop in order to do it. It is that moving from that Piscean age into the age of Aquarius. There's all these things happening. This is a foundational year. This is a major year of shifting and changing. I knew, I was saying the changes were coming, but I had no idea that it was going to be like the whole world all at once. And I really don't think anybody really saw that. If they did, that's amazing, but mostly no. And so here is this hard stop. And you're like, wait a minute. And so if you can surrender to the now, if you can surrender in, if you can say, okay, it's okay. Where I'm at right now is where I'm supposed to be, because the whole world is here right now. There's a reason for this. And so absorbing and allowing the wisdom and the understanding to come in. And then here we have in the heart space in the future, trust in the divine detours, the coyote spirit. So trusting and believing there is a plan here, and finding a way to be at peace with what is going on. In the recent past, you have the bear spirit, take time out. Okay, so the obstacle to overcome is this hard stop. It's like, wait, what? And it's really hard for the fire signs. I think right now, if you have fire major in your chart, and obviously if you're watching this, most likely you're not cross-watching, but that could be different. But if your Aries sun, moon, or rising, that is a significant, right? Energy shift, to always want to be on the fly and on the go, and all of a sudden have to stop and stay home and not get out there. And I have this huge compassion for the fire signs, because I think fire and possibly the air signs next are struggling with this just hard stop. They are not liking it. So currently what you're supposed to do is lay a solid foundation. So during this season of Taurus gets a plan, they get an idea, they focus on it, and they move in that direction. They are very foundational, very laying the brick and mortar kind of thing. And so you're being asked to act as if it's going to happen. So start laying the groundwork for it. What can you do right now? What can you do? Look around your situation. Can you, if say you are in sales, can you be working with your clients, staying in contact and communication with them? If you are planning to maybe you can update your website. There's lots of things you can do while you're at home that could be setting you up for success. Reorganizing your stuff. I have a friend who finally had a chance to get into his supply garage to go through and sort out what equipment doesn't belong in there, what needs to go. So there's this opportunity to do these kinds of things. And so what can you do right now that will help set you up for success when things start going? And then we're finishing out the month with slow and steady wins the race, the turtle spirit. And I do think it's going to be this excuse me, this very slow start. It's not like they're going to flip the switch and all of a sudden everything's going to be back. It's going to be like a rolling energy of, okay, you can do this now. Okay, and now today you can do this. And so it's going to be slow and steady. It's going to be focusing on where you're going, and trust in the divine detour. Trust that things are going the way they are right now for a reason. But that shouldn't stop you from planning. That shouldn't stop you from working toward where it is that you want to go. And so now you have the bear spirit, and again you have the bear spirit show up. And so the bear spirit is that protective mother energy. It is that getting what you need energy. that it is the strong and indomitable energy, right? And so the grizzly bear power says, I am indestructible. I honor my intuition and go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. I never give up and I will succeed. So that is where you should be focusing on with your thought processes. I'm not going to give up. I will succeed. I can do this by moving softly, gently, and slow and steady. You know, Aries, that's hard. You're initiating sign. You're a fire sign. You want to get up. You want to go. You want to get things going. And you're being asked to really get into that slow-paced, focus, steady energy of Taurus to help you be really successful at this time. Planets are all slowing down to be going retrograde. It is a time to take things at a slower pace. So in the heart space, you have lost and found. What was once lost is about to be found thanks to the lost and found fairies. Sometimes she can help us find things we never even realized were lost. In the other one, it's a fairy deck. It's Oracle of the Fairies. This one says come together. Fairies like to be busy, and a group of them showing you that many hands make light work. Working as a team helps to get the job done. So clearly you can't get out and about, but around the house. Or who can you network with? Many hands make light work. Who can you brainstorm with in like a Zoom meeting or Facebook chat group or something to start, how can you set yourself up for success? And then as far as around the house, many hands making light work, well, you're all there. So, plenty of opportunity for that, right? Okay, so let's get you some advice for action, and then we'll grab you a crystal card. So you have the monkey. Experience all that life has to offer, and this one really wants to come too. It says, listen to the messages of the angels. So this is a different pace. Experiencing everything that life has to offer, right? This is a different pace. You're used to running around and getting stuff done, right? That's your superpower. And this is another way of looking at things. So this is another way of doing things, and it may not be super comfortable. But I feel like the whole world needed to do it. I feel like the whole world really needed to do this. So you have green tourmaline for your gemstone card. It says abundance and prosperity are an infinite supply. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. So write that down and say that every morning, say that every afternoon, say it every night. Abundance and prosperity are an infinite supply. I am grateful for the blessings in my life, because here you were wondering, is there an infinite possibility? And here you're being told yes. The abundance of the universe will provide. And so what you think about, you bring about. What you choose to believe becomes your reality. And so using this as a mantra, abundance and prosperity are an infinite supply. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. So hang in there, Aries. It will get better. I do think we are not going to be up to clicking along probably till September, but I do think you'll notice a big uptick in energy moving forward when we get to July. All right? You take care. I will see you back here. I will try really hard to have enough energy over the weekend to do the weeklies. So hopefully I will see you on Monday. All right? You take care.